Lori here. So it's April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day, friends. But I still am off from work. I'm here to start a new reading vlog. I have a big thing. I like to finish all the books I'm reading the day of the like the last day of the month, and I like to start every month fresh. It sometimes adds a little bit of stress to my life, but I was able to do it last night, so I was able to finish both Bitter Blue and The Last Equation by Stuart Gibbs. So I was able to finish those last night. So this week I do have off from work. I have off until Monday. It is Easter weekend, and I figured because we're still sort of in a pandemic life, I would just try to read as many of the books on my winter TBR that I haven't read yet, and then just sort of spring forward reading some contemporaries. So that's sort of the plan of attack for today. I am going to go to a yoga class today. That is the plan. I got my hair done yesterday, so I try to keep my braids all nice and neat. So sorry if I look a little bit messy. But I did want to kind of talk through the books that I hope to read in this reading vlog. I have two ebooks. I have Brightly Woven by Alexandra Bracken, which is the graphic novel inspired by her first novel. A couple of years ago, I was able to read her first novel, and I liked it. There definitely wasn't any closure at the end of it, which a lot of people struggled with, so I hope that this graphic novel might sort of tie up some loose ends a little bit, and the illustrations look really, really pretty. My other ebook that I hope to read during this weekend is World Between Blinks by Amy Kaufman and Ryan Groudon, which is like a middle grade time travel novel. It's been a bit since I read any time travel middle grade novel, so I mean just time travel in general. And now I have a couple of sorry, I'm gonna turn my angle. I have a couple of physical reads that I hope to tackle. One is part of that winter TBR that I had that I never wound up finishing. That's gonna be the one I'm probably gonna focus on. That's gonna be Sky Hunter by Marilee. Can we just all admire this cover? I'm unsure if this is a science fiction novel or if this is a fantasy novel. But a world is broken by war. A team of young warriors is willing to sacrifice everything to save what they love. So I'm really excited for this one. This cover is stunning. And the only series I read by Mary Lou that I really, really enjoyed was the Warcross series. So I really hope that this one is a similar experience. And eventually I will go back and read Legend and the other series that she has out. So to spring forward, I haven't read a whole lot of contemporaries this year. I read a couple of them, but no one book other than Tweet Q that really wowed me. So the book for the YA book club, Time Warp YA book club, the link's always in the description box, is A Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. And this is a book that follows a girl named Lila, and she winds up going to England for the summer to sort of combat her mental health, which I think is really, really unique and different. And in a world where we are all dying to travel, I'm hopeful that this one will be a wonderful surprise. And a couple of my best friends still live in England, kind of on the mental health train. We also have Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. This book came out quite a bit ago, but this also has a mental health twist, and there are quite a few prompts on my Avengers reading board that have to do with mental health and stuff like that. So I know that if I can read that, it will be pretty good for that. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, that's my sort of reading plans for this week. I am going to go to yoga, which I'm really excited about. I want to catch up on my YouTube videos. I actually did finish watching Big Bang Theory last night. I finally watched it, all 11 seasons. It was such a wild ride. I will have to admit, it's probably one of my favorite TV shows of contemporary comedy TV shows of all time. I just love those characters so much. So I'm probably going to take a little bit of a comedy break because they're so fun, but I'm missing some drama in my life. So I think I'm gonna maybe watch a couple of other seasons of a couple of things. I want to catch up on some of the current TV shows that I have not watched, because there's actually quite a bit. So that's gonna be my priority after I catch up on my YouTube queue. But I'm going to go do some Instagram stuff because I didn't do it yesterday because I forgot about it. Read my chapter of How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. And then if I have time, I'll update you guys before I go to yoga, which won't be in person because it's raining and it's also a virtual class. So talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Lori here. I am in a really different setup, that I normally am in, because my carpet of my room has basically flooded. So I am going to be relocated for the foreseeable future until my room is back. So this vlog might be a little bit like intermittent because I don't have a room anymore. I still live with my parents, so my room was my safe haven. I just spent like 2 hours taking all my books off my shelves. If you have followed any of my reading vlogs, you know I have a pretty big amount of books. So everything is off my, I have a big bookshelf and like all my books are off of that, which is so disheartening because I spent so much time organizing them and now they're all just in boxes and yeah. So I'm going to take a little bit of a mental break, get some food. I also did want to say that I did start Brightly Woven like as we were cleaning because they told me I was being a nuisance, so I tried to like vanish and not be in anyone's way. But I did get like, let's see if it will tell me. I'm about 50% done with it. It's not gonna, maybe it will tell me. I'm on page 103. I'm like 59% done. It is very, from what I remember, I read Brightly Woven like so many years ago, but I know that they aged up the lead and aged down the hero because if I remember right, he was like an older man. So they're making it a little bit more romantic-y, which is fun. I like that. I really like, I think the art style is super awesome, and I think that maybe we'll get some closure in this story that we didn't have the first time I read it. I would be intrigued to like go back and reread that book again because I think it's really different, but again, it's been a bit since I've read it. So yeah, I'm gonna go get some food, maybe relax a little bit. I was listening to Arusha and the Tree of Wishes, and I do not know where my iPod went when everything happened, so I might try to locate my iPod, but no, we'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna go eat, and then when I'm done with that, I'll try to like get my head in place, and then I'll give you guys another check-in. Bye. Friends, Laura here. You're gonna be seeing a lot of my house for the next couple of weeks because my bedroom has been having a lot of issues. So, yeah. I just spent the whole day taking all my books off my bookshelf, which means I do not know where anything is. um, the only good thing is that I like put most of the books I want to read in one corner of my house, and I know where they are. And a majority of my TBR is on one shelf, which is in a corner of my room that doesn't have to be moved because it's like an in closet. So I still do know where most of my TBR books are, but a lot of them are just in boxes, and I'm just not going to touch them until I have a room again, so it's okay. But I did wind up finishing two things. I finished two graphic novels. I finished Brightly Woven by Alexandra Bracken, which was really, really cute. It was definitely much different from the novel that I read like a couple years ago. They aged up the main character and aged down the hero and the sort of villain, I guess you could say. I found it really, really cute. I like the art style. I think it also wrapped up the storyline very, very well, which was not the case in Brightly Woven because she had imagined it to be like a trilogy and then it just never went that way. She wound up writing Darkest Minds and whatever. And I also finished reading Promise Volume 3, which was the Avatar comics. So that one was really, really good. A very, very interesting like conclusion. I also have to see how I'm going to get my hands on The Search. Those are the next books in those sequence. So I'm going to have to see if my library has access to those or if I'm going to have to buy them, which right now I don't want to buy anything physically because I don't know where anything is. But I'm also going to start a Cuban's Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. This is the book for the Owl, for the Time Warp YA Book Club. And I just need something light and fluffy. I'll be a little bit honest. It is about 5 o'clock. I just want to up eating. I do have to work out today, like desperately, but I don't know where I'm gonna do that because my room is no longer my room right now. We're tearing up the carpet and everything. So enough about that. But if I seem a little bit disheveled for the next couple of weeks, and my Instagram is a little bit off, don't worry. I'm still doing all that stuff. It might just be a little bit delayed, or it may not have my Funkos in it. So just wanted to say that. But I'm probably gonna go start a Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. And I'll give you guys an update when I read about 50 pages. So talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hey friends, Laura here. I'm back in a new setup. Oh man. Alright, well, I did wind up working out. I I'm still not organized, but there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be moved before I can be organized. So this is just going to be how my life is for a little bit. But I did make a new Bookstagram setup. If my mom doesn't move it, may work. But I did finish 2, graphic novels today. They weren't that long, but they were fun. So I am going to start A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow and see how far I can get. It is set in England, which is a place that I'm dying to visit again. But I might just take a little bit of a break. I just finished Big Bang Theory, but it is just so relaxing. So I may just watch like the first 2 episodes of Big Bang Theory as I'm reading, and just to distress a bit, because it's been a day. And that show just puts a smile on my face. So I might just watch a couple of episodes just to sort of bring myself back to sanity as I'm sort of reading, because yeah. But I will see you guys when I make some progress on A Cuban Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow, because I've read nothing. So see you guys in a bit. Bye. Friends, Lori here. I'm back. So it is April 2nd. Yesterday was a crazy day. As you can see, my background has changed. I have moved all my stuff into my parents' room, which is a really, really long story. But I at least have somewhat of a filming location, which is nice, and an Instagram setup. Also last night I was kind of like shot. But I did wind up reading about 46 pages in A Cuban's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. Basically follows this girl named Lilia. Is it like Lilia or Lily? I think it's Lilia. And she lives in Miami with her family. She's about to take over the family restaurant. But she has encountered 3 tragedies really, really close together. Her grandma passed away, her boyfriend broke up with her, and her best friend, instead of going to college with her or near her, like decided to go to like Ghana, Africa. So 3 crushing blows, and her parents are really, really worried about her mental health. So convince her to go to England to spend the summer with her aunts and her cousins at their bed and breakfast in Worcester, England. I think that that's a cool premise. I like that mental health is sort of at the forefront of this story. And she's sort of knocked back on her heels a little bit because her baking doesn't really go with the England type of baking. But yeah, it's just very, very cute, very, very lighthearted. My goal for today is to honestly spend some time out of my house. It is so cold here. It is like 20 degrees. It's very, very chilly. So normally I would go for bike rides, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to yoga. While I have an opportunity to go to yoga. And then I'm probably going to go to the library for a little bit and just sort of read, maybe get some lunch, and then come back. But I do hope to make some progress on A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. I am also in the middle of listening to Arusha and the Tree of Wishes, which is the 3rd book in that series. I'm actually going to listen to a little bit right now. I'm going to just finish the chapter that I'm in the middle of reading. These are not that long. And then I'm probably going to work out. I'm determined to not let some things like fall by the wayside now that I do have this weird living situation. Hopefully it will be fixed before summer would be nice. That would be nice. But the good thing is that I am now in control of buying my own furniture, so I can kind of pick some better bookshelves if I choose to, or some better furniture. Like now that everything's out of my bedroom, like there's not a single thing in my bedroom, I can sort of like redo my bedroom to my own heart's content when that time comes. So that's sort of exciting. I'm gonna like talk to a friend of mine, and we're gonna kind of do some like pre-planning and some theming, and I'm gonna talk to my 2 friends. They're really, really good at like design stuff. So that's sort of the plan. I'm trying to look on the positive side of things, not the negative side of things. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go work out, text my friend, tell her we're gonna come up with some cool things for my bedroom, and hopefully she'll help me out. And then I'm gonna go work out, and I'm gonna read a little bit more of Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow, and I'll update you guys when I can. Bye. Friends, Lori here, I'm back. It's about 9:35. I actually did wind up getting up to page 55 in A Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. This book is just so fun. I love England. England is one of those places that I'm dying to visit again. But I just like that she is dealing with a lot. It does deal with a lot of anxiety and depression stuff. And I like that she was sort of sent away somewhere else, but I like that baking is still a very, very big part of her life. I think that that's really interesting. I love a concept YA novel. I said this before, if there's like a job or like a new location, I'm totally here for it. And I think right now in a world where we can't travel, it's just nice to read a book where they can. I remember I was watching Haley in Bookland, her videos, because she's writing a book herself and it's about travel. And I remember her saying, "Oh my God, who's gonna pick up a travel novel?" I'm like, I think everyone should because it's just what things we can't do. So I think it would be super popular, but that's just my opinion. I also did listen to a little bit more of Arusha and the Tree of Wishes. It's just a fun read. It's such a nice little escape from reality. I really, really like that series for sure. So yeah, it's about 9:36. I'm hoping to go to yoga today. That's the plan. I'm gonna leave in a little bit. And if my parents don't need me, I'll probably go to like the library and read somewhere. Just because they're doing construction again, and it's a lot. And this construction has nothing to do with my bedroom, which is another project. So it's been a bit crazy here. But I'm gonna read a little bit more. Maybe read like one or two more chapters. I'm also watching Starla Reads her videos, which I really, really enjoy. I get some really, really great recommendations. So I'm going to read a little bit more and I'll update you guys before I head to yoga probably. Bye. Lori here, I'm back. I did actually wind up doing a bunch of things. It's like almost 2:30, but I wound up getting up to page about 100 in A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. I really am liking this book. It's very, very fun. It's very, very cute. Her boy is convincing her to show her around England and not remain stuck in her house, and she is dealing with a lot. I do also like that there is some issues also on Orion's side, and they're sort of bonding over that a little bit. I always like friends to lovers. That's one of my favorite tropes, friends to more. And I'm finding it to be very, very fun. I also like England as a backdrop. I don't see that enough in stories. I really am enjoying that. I just think she's a fun character. So I'm going to keep reading. I'm also getting down my YouTube queue. I have about 56 videos left. I do hope to actually be able to catch up on my TV shows this weekend. Hopefully that could still happen with everything else going on. But when I read about 50 more pages, I'll probably give you guys another update. Bye. Laura here, I'm back. I'm just trying to find a filming spot that I like. I'm hopeful that maybe in the next couple of weeks I will have my room back, but I don't sit in my bed and read a lot just because it makes me super tired and I don't have any real space to read now. So I'm just trying to adjust my reading life a little bit, and that's going to take an adjustment. As I said about in this reading vlog, this was not a planned thing, and it's a little bit like off kiltering. But I did want to say that I did wind up reading to page 150 in A Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. This book is just so fun. It's just such a light read. But it does deal with like, losing friendships and like what that looks like and sort of going away for your own mental health and how you're kind of resisting that. There is a friendship element, there is a romance, I'm sure that will sort of develop. But the one highlight is definitely like the baking thing and how she is sort of in England and that culture is not very into like her, her Latin background and her baking. So I like that she's sort of like introducing all of these elements to this new bakery. I think that that's sort of cool and it's really guiding me. And it sort of reminds me when I read like the Hannah Swanson series or another baking series that I'm learning a lot more about their culture of foods and I really enjoy that. I also think her journey as a character is really interesting. But again, she's also dealing with a lot. She's dealing with the death of a grandparent. She's dealing with the breakup of her boyfriend and then the loss of her best friend. All those three things at once is hard. And you could tell she's really resisting change in any other aspect of her life. And I relate to that on a big scale. Whenever I go through a lot of changes in my life, I'm sort of clinging to everything. So not everything changes at once. But I'm really liking it. I really wish I knew where her other book is. I do own it, but it's somewhere in this house. But I really am liking it quite a bit. I think it's going to be like a fun read. I don't think I'm going to, I might. It's not that long. But I really am liking it. And I miss England so much. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of a reading break. I also did a really intense workout yesterday before my life went up in shambles. So I might just like I feel super tense and super sore, so I think I'm gonna like just relax for a couple minutes, maybe go for a walk. Or that's the thing. It's also so cold. It's April 2nd, and it's just like not the weather I want it to be because I would just easily go for a walk, but not in the mood right now. So yeah, I'm going to go take a little bit of a reading break, but when I get up to page 200, I will definitely give you guys another check-in. Bye. It's Lori here. I'm back. It is Saturday, April 3rd. Again, my angles will be a little bit weird until I get my room back, and I'm still not happy with the filming setup. But last night, I did wind up reading up to page 168 in A Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. Really enjoying this book. Also, last night I watched an episode of Nailed It, the team edition. I'm loving Mighty Ducks Game Changers. It is exactly the lighthearted show that I need in my life. And also, I finally caught up. I finally watched Winter Soldier, Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm definitely liking it more as the episodes go on. Today we had 2 character cameos that I've been waiting for, so I was really happy about that. It is so cold in Long Island. So I'm sort of don't know what I want to do today, to be honest. I was planning on like going outside and adventuring, but I just think it's just too cold. I'm also still a little bit tired. I did actually go to bed pretty early yesterday because the previous night I slept on a couch and my back was like done. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to finish my YouTube cube today first, and maybe try to finish A Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. So that's my first plan. When I make a little bit of progress on this book, probably when I get up to page like 200, I'll give you guys another update. But yeah, I have to go back to work on Monday, so I'm just trying to like relax and decompress a little bit. It is also Easter tomorrow. It's possible I might run to town later. I also did get up to page 30% done in Arusha and the Tree of Wishes, which is really, really a fun read. I don't want to talk too much about it because it is the 3rd book in a series, but their crew of people keeps getting bigger, and I like that. I like big crews of characters. I like her writing style. I like the world of the Pandavas, so really enjoying it. So I'm gonna go back and start to read this a little bit more. I have a couple of videos that I must catch up on my YouTube queue, so that's gonna be my goal. And when I get up to page 200, I'll give you guys an update. Bye. Hello, here I'm back. It is about 9:39. I did wind up getting up to page 206 in A Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. I think I'm gonna head out for a little bit. I'm gonna go to yoga, which I don't normally do, but again, my house is a little bit of a disarray. They're painting. I also think I'm gonna go to the library, and just sort of get out of the house. I do hope by the time I'm back, I will have made some more progress on A Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. I also do have my audiobook, which I'm going to bring with me, which I hope to make a little bit more progress on that. I'm just kind of sort of catching up on YouTube videos when I'm home and just relaxing. I do have to go back to work on Monday. So yeah, that's sort of my plan of attack. But I do want to go to yoga because once I go back to school, I'm sort of limited to my yoga classes I can attend. So I'm trying to enjoy my large amount that I can attend when it's not like a regular week. But yeah, I really am liking A Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. I could definitely see the element that's gonna sort of come between her and her potential love interest. But I also think that because they're from like 2 totally different countries, I have a connection to that. I have a boy I liked at a point that was like in a different country, so their dynamics to be together is really more challenging when you think that they live in 2 totally different like countries. That's always challenging, but also there's other elements. She's a planner, so she has her life all planned out, but an element has been introduced that can kind of upend her plans, which I think is really interesting because it's not something she ever thought about before. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I really like her as a character. I think she's super fun. I really like the baking elements. It's definitely a very, very fluffy read, but at the heart of it is sort of dealing with when life throws you lemons and how do you kind of deal with that. So really liking it though. I will check in with you guys when I come back from my errands, probably later in the day, and we'll see how much progress I have made. Bye guys. Friends, Lori here, just checking back in. It's about 1:27. I just got home from my errands. I did want to say a little bit of an update about my room. It is much less worse than we thought it was going to be. So it's an easier problem to fix, less complications. Hopefully I'll be back in my room much quicker than we thought I was, which is great because I hate being displaced, but grateful that it's not worse. So I did wind up reading a little bit more of Arusha and the Tree of Wishes. That's definitely going to become my commute book for next week. It's just so cold outside. If I just do decide to do another workout, I will probably listen to that as well. But I am so close to the end of A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. I'm on page 278, and this book is only like 307 pages. Really liking it. The big moment that I was sort of expecting to happen in this book did not happen the way I thought it was going to happen, and that is really hard to do in contemporaries, I always say, because there's always like a big blow up moment that happens at like the tail end of a book, and then it sort of wraps itself up or figures itself out towards the very end. That's not what happened in this book, so I'm actually really happy with that. I'm finding it to be really unique. I'm just really, really liking this book quite a bit. It just has so many fun elements. It has found family. It has, self-discovery. It has a really, really cute romance. It has travel. They're in London. It's great. It's great. I really, really like it. So I'm going to go probably tackle the very, very end of this and keep watching my YouTube videos that I'm in the middle of watching. And I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. It's Lori here. I'm back. So it's about 2:33. I did wind up finishing A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Nemi. I found this book to be super charming. It was a nice read. It was a fun read. It tackled some really fun topics, but also some hard-hitting ones. It was just it was like a warm hug from a read. I thought this is a great springtime read as well. The cover is definitely very, very spring-oriented. I love that this book went to England. It's been a bit since I read a book outside of the United States. Not it's fantasy, just sort of in a different country. So it's been a bit since I've read that, and it reminded me of a situation in my life that has happened to me. So I really, really like this one. Gave it probably 4.75 stars. I found it to be super charming, and I really liked it. I'm still debating my next read. I'm gonna kind of take a couple minutes. I'm gonna take some Instagram photos now that I have figured out my setup, and trying to figure out what I do want to read next. If I want to read another lighter read, or if I want to dive into something a little bit more heavy. I don't know yet. This reading log, I feel like, has been a little bit all over the place due to what's happened with my bedroom, but I do want to kind of get a little bit back on track. I actually have finished 3 things already. 2 are only graphic novels, but I still did finish reading them, which is really nice. So yeah, I am going to figure out what I want to read next, and then I'll check in with you guys when I make that decision. Bye. Laura here, I'm back. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to start Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. This was one of my last books on my winter TBR. I honestly have no idea what this book's about. I don't know if it's fantasy. I don't know if it's science fiction. I have no idea. I've read one series by Mary Lou in the past. I read the Workhorse duology and really, really liked it. I actually got this for free from Fierce, so I'm going to give it a start, and if I feel like I'm struggling a little bit, maybe I'll just switch to another contemporary. We'll see, but I'm going to give it at least a shot and see how I like it. But yeah, I'm going to go start it, and when I read about 50 pages, I'll give you guys an update. Bye. I just want to do a quick update. I did wind up reading about 23 pages of Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. I want to give a quick thoughts because I went to this book sort of blind, but basically it follows this girl. Let me find out what her name is. Tiana, I think her name. And she actually can't speak. Her vocal cords have been cut, or she doesn't know if her vocal cords have been cut, but she witnessed a lot of trauma when she was escaping from her hometown to go into the Mara, which is the only place that the Federation has not taken over. So she can't speak. And she's basically been trained as a striker, which they basically try to defeat the monsters that the Federation are sending after them. And she works as a striker with her best friend, and he's her shield. And they're sort of basically defending the Mara from the Federation. The Mara is the last standing civilization that doesn't have the Federation's control, and they're sort of fighting all of these creatures and trying to make sure that their home is not sort of overturned. It has some elements that reminds me a little bit of a older fantasy series that has a guards and a war and stuff. I'm intrigued to keep reading. There was just a plot twist that really broke me a little bit. But other than that, I'm really liking it. So I'm gonna read a little bit more. I don't know where the book's going. I don't know if there's gonna be an overturning or anything like that, but I am enjoying it, and this cover is super pretty. So I'm gonna go read about to page 50, and then I'll give you guys another update. Bye. Sorry, I'm back in my mom's room again, which is really my room. But I did want to give a little bit of an update on Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. I am about 48 pages in. Really interesting story. I will say that. I also didn't mention this at the start. I think I might have, but she can't speak, so she does use sign language, which I think is I haven't really read a character that has done that before, so I think that's interesting. Mary Lou always It adds really interesting representation in her story, and I think it's so effectively done. I've only read one series by her. I read the Warcross duology, but I always found her books to be like so realistic, and I think that the way she does her diversity is so easy and even keel, and like you don't really have to think about the diversity because you don't even, it doesn't even like click sometimes in such a good way though. I really am liking it. um I'm really liking this book like quite a bit. It's a very very interesting read. Like you can definitely tell that there is war elements to it. There's also a little bit of like a class war because she is from um Basha, which is the area over from Mara, which is the only free place in this little like basically world that the Federation has not overtaken. And they have encountered a prisoner. And I think it's going to go in a different direction than I was expecting. But I do like that we're getting a little bit more about our history. We're also getting a few more side characters. Um, the book started off with like a little bit of a bang, and a character I really liked. He was something happened to that character, so I'm just really liking her as a character. I didn't think I was gonna really like this book, but I'm really enjoying it. It shouldn't be a surprise because everything I've read by Mary Lou I really liked. So yeah, I'm gonna read until about page 100, and then I'll give you guys another update. So, they have just met a prisoner, and that's all I know so far. But the summary didn't really tell me that much, and I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna go back to reading, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Lori here. I'm just here to do a quick check-in. I did wind up reading to about a page 100 in Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. It's actually so funny. I've watched a reading vlog where Haley and Brooklyn DNF this book, but I'm actually finding it to be really compelling, and she used Storygraph, and it said that it was like a fast-paced read, which I definitely agree with. I it does deal with like some zombie like creatures, I will say that, and I don't always love zombies. But the thing I do like about this card is that you do have like a wide cast of characters, and I always say that. I always look for books that have a lot of characters, not too many, but like a good amount, and I'm finding a lot of them to be very, very interesting, especially Talon. I also like that she has a family. Normally, when you see books with like a character like Talon, she's normally familyless. So I do like that there is some stakes, someone she's trying to protect, because I think that's interesting. I haven't read that in actually a while. I also do like that she's forced to kind of work with this captive and kind of figure out what's happening. But there are also two side characters, Jaren and his shield, that I also am really enjoying, and I just think the setup's kind of fun. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna stop reading for the night because I actually did do quite a bit of reading today between this and also I read about 2 hours of Arusha and the Tree of Wishes. But yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna watch. I'm going to try my hardest to not watch Big Bang Theory because I just should not, because like I literally have so many other things to watch. But it's just a relaxing show, and this week has been so stressful. So I don't know. Oh, I also did want to say that I did get Bone Crier's Dawn in the mail, which I'm really happy. Also, yesterday I got a copy of the new Eden Thomas book in the mail, so this will probably get read at some point, maybe not this month, but so I will check in with you guys tomorrow, and we will sort of go through Easter. We don't normally do anything for Easter, but with COVID and everything, we're really not doing anything for Easter. But so far, I'm really enjoying this. It's definitely, went in with sort of no expectations, and I'm sort of happy about that, but I'm liking it. And I know that Haley did say it's more science fiction themed, which I like. So science fiction light is what she said, and I'm really hopeful that it will go that direction. But yeah, I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Bye. Lori here, I'm back. It's about 7:50. It is Easter Sunday, so happy Easter. I hope the Easter bunny bought you what you wanted. I did actually wind up last night. I wound up reading to about page 100 in Sky Hunter, and then I watched a couple of episodes. I think I watched a Big Bang Theory episode. I watched a couple of episodes of Country Comfort, which is like a show starring Catherine McPhee. And I also finished watching Waffles and Mochi, which is by Michelle Obama's production company. But yeah, my goal is to finish a majority of this book today. May not finish the whole thing, but I do have some reading plans for this weekend, or this week, I guess. So I want to be closer to the end of this by the end of today. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of plans. I have to go with my mom to get a COVID test because she has surgery this week on her knee because she hurt herself earlier in the the winter season she fell when she was shoveling. But yeah, so I have like a much longer true crime video to watch. It's sort of like just like about, true crime stuff. So I'll probably watch that, and then I'm probably gonna try to make some progress on this and see how I'm feeling. I do like how it has somewhat of a science fiction twist, so I do like that. And I always like Marie Lu's writing. So yeah, I am gonna read a little bit more, and when I get up to page 150, I'll give you guys an update. Bye. Hello, here I am back. It is about 11:05 on Easter Sunday. I wound up getting up to page 160 in Sky Hunter. It definitely is becoming super intriguing. Like, I'm intrigued enough to see where the story is going to go, but there was a twist revealed with the prisoner, which is one that I totally did see coming, but I mean, sort of. I knew that there was going to be something happening with the prisoner, and there was an element that was introduced that I'm kind of intrigued by. It's definitely a different type of book. I haven't read a lot by Mary Lou, but I really am enjoying it. I'm definitely going to probably keep reading. It definitely has a sci-fi hint to it. I like that we're getting more information about all the side characters, which is something that I really like. I said this before. I like bigger cast of characters and not like one-on-one stories. I struggle with those a little bit. But yeah, so I'm gonna definitely there's gonna be a battle, I think, at the end of the story. And I know that it is a duology. The second cover was revealed. We do know what Sky Hunter is at this point, which again is really interesting. So I'm going to read a little bit more, and when I get up to page 200, I'll probably give you guys an update and see where we are. That's at that point, that's when Haley decided to DNF, so I wonder how I'll be feeling at that point. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Here, I did take a little bit of a break. I forgot, because this week has been a bit weird. I forgot that I had to do my blog post for the week and my group post for the TBR and Beyond reading group. I also walked a little bit. It is a really, really nice day. Not as warm as I would like it to be, but it is better than it has been the past couple of days. So I took a walk and listened to about an hour and a half of Aru Shah and the Tree of Wishes. Really liking that book. It's getting very, very fun, and I'm really excited to see where the rest of that book goes. And I did read to page 200 in Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. It definitely got a little bit more science fiction-y than I was expecting, but I'm really liking it. I'm intrigued to see where the story goes. I'm very intrigued. I love a group of characters that are sort of forced to work together, and there is the element of that trope. The world is also really different, and there's a sci-fi hint to the story. So I don't think it's heavy sci-fi, but I do think it's sci-fi light so far. It'll probably go a little bit more science fiction as the book goes on, but I'm really, really liking it. So I'm gonna read to 250 and give you guys another update. I was hoping to finish this reading vlog today, and I probably will. But this book might just carry on into my next week's reading vlog because it is an arc technically. Because I do have it on NetGalley. So I'm gonna go read a little bit more of this, and when I get to probably the next part of this book, which is not that far away, but when I get to the next part, I'll probably give you guys, when I read a couple more pages, I'll probably give you guys another update, because this book is split into parts, and we're about to go to the war front, which I'm really excited about. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye. Glory here, I'm back. So I did wind up reading up to page 256 in Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. I'm intrigued to see where this book is gonna go. They have made their move, I'll say that. So now it's becoming more like a mission, which I do like. I also like that there's a smaller cast of characters that are on this adventure. We have been meeting them throughout the book. I think that the stakes are high for all involved. I do think one element was a little bit predictable, and one plot point was a little bit predictable, and I don't think it needed that element, honestly. But other than that, I'm still really enjoying. She has such fast-paced writing, and I'm really enjoying that, and I don't want to put the story down, which is good. So I'm going to read to page probably 300, and then I'll give you guys another update, and we'll do a time check. Right now it's about 5. I would love to finish this tonight, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I sort of put my YouTube videos that I was watching on hold, because they're a little bit more focused, and I want to actually pay attention to them when I'm reading. And this one really demands all my focus, because it's I would say it's a higher science fiction novel. So yeah, I'm gonna finish watching my longer true crime videos that I've never watched before. I just didn't wind up watching them for whatever reason. So, but I will update you guys when I get up to page 300, and I'll give you guys a time check and see if I'm gonna be able to finish Sky Hunter tonight. Bye. Sorry if I look a little bit disheveled. I just took a shower. But I did want to say that I wound up getting up to page 301 in Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. I will talk about the positives first. I think it's a very, very fast paced read. I like the characters. The plot isn't like wowing me. I feel like I've read this plot before in a couple of different books, so the plot's not wowing me, and some of the twists and turns were a little bit predictable, but I still am enjoying it. It's just not my favorite. It's not like when I read Warcross and I like had to get my hand on the next books. I do like the world. I think the world is interesting. I like the characters. I'm just not loving the plot. I do say it's very, very fast paced, and that's like what's kept me reading, because honestly, if it wasn't as fast paced, I probably would have put it down and read it like another time or grabbed the audiobook. But I am going to go finish it, and then I'm going to wrap up what I was able to read during this bizarre reading vlog. So I'm going to go finish it, and I'll talk to you guys when I'm done. Bye. And so this was a little bit of a weird reading vlog, I'll be very honest. My background has changed. I'm filming in a new location, and I was not as focused this weekend as I probably should have been when I was reading. But I did wind up reading 4 things. I read 2 graphic novels to start off this reading-thon when my life went a little bit wonky or crazy. I read Brightly Woven, which is the graphic novel adapted from Alexandra Bracken's debut novel. I really liked that one. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was a good adaptation. I thought it really solidified the story, changed the ages of the character, and I actually liked that one a lot. I also did read Avatar Volume 3 of The Promise. I really liked that one. Gave that one 4 stars. Those were really, really fun. I also read A Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. I gave this one 4 stars. I really liked it. I thought it was a really, really fun, cute contemporary. I will definitely check out more by this author in the future once I can locate her other book that's at my house somewhere. And then to finish off this reading vlog, I did wind up reading Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. I like this one. I think I struggled a little bit with the pacing in this one and the plot. I didn't think it was like super unique. I just thought it was just okay. I think the highlight was definitely the characters. I will probably check out book 2 eventually, but the pacing was super fast paced. I will say that. I did like the characters. The plot just didn't always capture me, especially towards the very, very end. So I only wound up giving this one 3 stars for review. So I did wind up reading 4 things, which is pretty impressive considering the weekend that I had. And I also made some reading progress on Arusha in the Tree of Wishes, which is my audiobook that I'm listening to. But I will see you for hopefully another reading vlog next week, and hopefully soon I will be back in my room with a better filming schedule. So I'll see you guys soon for another reading vlog. Bye, guys.